So hello everybody and welcome. Yeah, we're really excited for all the participants who have joined us today. Thank you all for taking the time. Just to give a little bit of an overview of what we'll be doing today, we will introduce the Into the Deep Marine Image Analysis Hub for Citizen Science project that we've been working on and show some of the results there. We'll discuss a little bit of this question of, is it worth it? And give you some examples there. And then we'll have our four panelists share their citizen science projects and the exciting and great work that they're doing. And then we'll also be handed over to you and kind of have a participatory aspect and part of this project, where we will then break out into 3 breakout rooms. And if you can and want to already, in the chat, we're putting it in there, there's going to be data analysis room, data collection room, and a community engagement room. So if you already have an idea in which room you'd like to go into, you can put that in the chat, and then we can start throughout the presentation, start assigning you to the room. So when we get to that part, we can easily continue there. And then we'll have our keynote speaker who will come back and discuss citizen science. Our citizen science keynote speaker will talk to us. And then finally, we'll have the wrap up. So we have a pretty packed program, but we're excited to share this all with you and also hear your feedback from everything. So without further ado, I'll start with Into the Deep. So Rhiannon, my colleague, and we are from Interchange. It's a nonprofit organization. And together with our partners, we've coordinated this project, and it's co-funded by the European Commission. And as you see, we have partners across Europe and from different types of institutions. And I think I can speak for both Rhiannon and myself, but and say a big public thank you to all of our partners. It's really a pleasure working with you. And they're here, all here as well in this webinar to support us, and you'll hear more and see more from them as we continue within this event. So let's dive on in. So Into the Deep. So it is a citizen science project, and basically what citizen science does, it invites adult learners to kind of be a part and help out with the research, the process of the research. And in this project, the task is to analyze images from different marine environments. So we really want to give people this feeling of what it's like to be a marine citizen, a marine scientist, and that they can take part in the actual process as well. So to give a little bit of a background, so this is an adult education project with Erasmus+. And so to take it from this side, we see a lot with education that just telling people the information isn't as effective as actually them being part of it and having a participatory role in, sorry, I'm hearing things as I'm going, in the setup. And that's why with this project, we really wanted to find different ways of being able to involve communities and reach them from different angles. And this is quite important because, especially when it comes to marine science, and then also how that relates to big topics, for example, what many people know with climate change, we find that just in general here in Europe, the attitudes and behaviors towards climate change, for example, is this 42% are just indifferent. And that means that they don't care one way or the other. It's just not on their radar and they're not really thinking about it. And that's one thing that we find quite important, is to be able to reach these people. And citizen science gives us a really great opportunity to find different means and different ways to reach these people and try and move this percentage a little bit towards the more engaged side of things. So just to give a little bit of a background about this education for sustainable development. So more and more studies are showing that that we need to combine and harmonize these 3 different learning dimensions to really get the best effect for sustainable development. So you have the cognitive learning dimension, which is this knowing about something, knowing a complex topic. Then you also have to combine that with the social and emotional learning dimension, which is more about your values and your attitudes. And then to the behavioral learning dimension, which is this move to action. So whether it be personally making some type of actions within your life or making actions on a policy basis. And so we're finding that really combining these three and harmonizing these can have the best effects for sustainable development. And then there's, of course, this connection with nature. So when you know something, you care about something, you love something, you're more likely to want to protect it or make sure that it's still there for future generations. And that's quite difficult to do in the deep sea, where most of the deep sea is actually inaccessible. And unless you're a deep sea researcher, there's not many opportunities for a person to see a cold sea at 1,200 meters in water depth. And so that's what we're trying to do with this project. We want to bring these inaccessible habitats right up to a person's laptop so that they can also experience that and have a participatory role in that, and in hopes then have them change maybe their behaviors or their thoughts about ocean conservation as well. So that's the idea behind the Into the Deep. And we have that for this project. We have 4 different marine habitats. Oh, and I wanted to mention as well, that's also what's really important and great with this project is that it doesn't matter if you live on the coast or if you live inland, you can access these remote habitats, marine habitats, just by having a laptop. And yeah, so we have 4 different habitats that, and each of them are affected by some type of human impact. Each habitat is important for the entire ecosystem, and each habitat, each data set has a researcher who is actually working on these images and this data in real time. And then the citizen sciences tasks are then to annotate these image data sets. And how does this then benefit the researchers? Well, it's a nice way to encourage more collaboration and also this bridge this gap a little bit between the scientists and the community and this transfer of information between the two. And it's also maybe hopefully also an inspiration for other researchers who have big image data sets, and that they could then continue putting, incorporating this type of project within their proposals and their research. And so finally, just a really quick overview of our habitats and where they are. So we have one in the North Pacific and one in the Arctic, then in the Catalan coast, and then also in the Aegean Sea. And I'm not sure if any of you have been following, but leading up to this webinar, we had some live Meet the Scientist Q&As with our scientists who are actually doing this work. And so we had Marco. I can't see all the people here, but I think he's here somewhere. Maybe he's waving. But he is the one from the Catalan ecosystem from UPC. And this is just off the coast, about 20 meters depth. And then we have Damianos. Hi, Damianos, if you're, I can't see you, but if you're there. And he is from ICN. Hi, CISC. From Barcelona, and he is looking at these cold seeps. And then we have Tim from Archipelagos, and his data sets are these from the Aegean Sea. They're looking at biodiversity. And then finally we have Alton from Avi, who's looking at data from the Arctic. And if you missed our Q&As, they're really fun Q&As, kind of asking some questions. And so you can always check those out there on our Instagram or our YouTube pages as well. So then finally, what we did, we had all of these ecosystems, and then with our partners at Athens Lifelong Learning Institute, the scientists work closely with them to create these lessons that are very jargon-free, have plenty of images, interactive quizzes, so that the citizen scientists can learn a little bit about these ecosystems and why they're important. And then also, of course, prepares them for the participatory part of the citizen science project, which is the actual annotating of the images.